Well, good morning. It's the 17th of December, 2024, and Travels with Dottie here with the comment video coming to you from the desert, boondocking outside Quartzsite, Arizona, in the great Southwest. Arizona, just a stone's throw away from California, and not far from Mexico. We're down here in the Southwest for sure, and it's 39 degrees outside, and it's just after 7 a.m., and the weather forecast is for the next, between now and through Christmas Day, we're looking at totally sunny skies or 80 to 90% sunny skies with mild winds that whole stretch. Nothing in double digits at all. So that's mostly I'm seeing under 5 miles per hour. So that's really great for the wind conditions. And temperatures range from low about 60, the low high, meaning the day with the lowest high, is about 67, and the highest high is about 76. So it ranges between 67 and 76. Pretty ideal conditions. It's just wonderful. So I am going to go ahead and start talking about the comments. I just want to mention that at the end of the video, I've started all these videos. I've started at the end doing 4 videos at the end you can click on, and they're the 4 most popular videos on Quartzsite, because I know so many of you are interested in Quartzsite. So the first one is on my long video yesterday. It was going to breakfast with friends. My friend Kathleen and Bob, we went to breakfast. We went into town. I brought you along with us. And Johnny says, greetings from Nebraska. You're up early. So you bet. Early to bed, early to rise here. And the short form video, or excuse me, the positive news video, was Bionic Christmas for kids. There are a bunch of kids that got bionic arms for Christmas. Really, really happy story. Ken Gray says article is a bit hard to read from the ads, but worth it. Yeah, I noticed when you click on to read the article, you're bombarded with all kinds of web ads. But if you can navigate, push those ads aside, it's worth reading the article. Going to breakfast with friends. Ken says cab is a bit blurry and need cleaning, or just the brightness. So Ken jumped the gun. He jumped in, saw something in the middle of in a video, jumped in there, and I said, keep watching, Ken, because as it progresses, as I'm driving kind of with my friends through the desert, I go, that's a blurry, something's going on. And I start looking at the lens, and it turns out there was condensation in the external lens I was putting on. So I just put that lens away, and everything cleared up right away. Amazing services in Quartzsite is a video I did the other day, and Wiki U Pratt. I hope they get that Blue Boy station up and running soon. Second time I've been there and it's been shut down. They really need to have dump water services at every LTVA, in my opinion. It did come up yesterday. Yesterday around noon it came back up. And here's what I believe is going on with that. Is that it needs to be pumped out. It's a septic tank for the Blue Boy dump station, and it fills up. When it fills up, they have to shut it down. Well, why don't they just call the service? Well, because as you know, they're desperately trying to raise rates because they're basically out of money. So my guess is they have in the budget, and they have a contract with someone to come out, I don't know, on the 14th of every month. And if they run out of room on the 12th, they're going to shut down from the 12th to the 14th, because there's no money for like an extra trip or coming out early. That is, I think, I think it's an educated guess that is, and I have no reason to believe that other than logic. So I have no source. This is not the news. Let's see. In that same video, Ken Gray says, nice morning drive today. Then on amazing services in Quartzsite, Q881 says, I like the daily drives. It makes me more familiar with the area. When I finally do get out there, I feel like I know where I'm going and how to get around. Thanks for the help. I'll try to look you up when I get out there in January. I'm going to have a meetup in January at the dog park. So you'll get to meet me and Dottie. George doesn't go to the dog park. George doesn't leave the trailer except on travel days when I sedate him, pick him up, and take him into the truck. Dame the First is giving me thumbs up on the comments video. Oh, probably because I'm now pronouncing her name correctly. Not Dom the First, Dame the First. Ken Gray, yes, you can use your SNAP EBT card in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and Guam. SNAP is a federal program that is interoperable between states. He's asking a viewer's question that I didn't know the answer to, which I can always count on Ken to do. Ken Gray say the Say Hayward Watchers about me doing Ask a Ken channel. Yeah. That's right. I forgot the other day we were talking about creating a YouTube channel, and that's actually the video I'm going to shoot right after this. It's about my experience, what happened, why, who, what, where, when, how, and why with my YouTube channel. And I think I have a unique experience because it seems different from all the other YouTube videos on kind of how to do YouTube. Mine's kind of different. I'm not saying it's better. I'm saying it's different. And I was saying Ken could do a YouTube video just on answering questions, being, you know, a human Google, answering interesting questions, because he loves doing research and he gets excited about it and he's passionate. And if he's able to be comfortable to let that out, to let his authenticity out in front of a camera, and by I mean camera, you can use your cell phone to do this. This is your TV studio. He could have a successful channel. That's what he wants. That's fun for him. Adopted another pet, and Dottie is not happy. That's a short. She wants a scarf and hat, says Richard Bishop. On going to breakfast with friends, King Base Pickleball. Can you get to the main road without going through the washes? Well, I answered that in writing. I'll be a little bit more elaborate here. No, I guess if I wanted to drive parallel to the washes far enough to the east here, yeah, I could probably, maybe, I don't know, it wouldn't be worth it. There's washes as I get down there that are pretty level going across and not treacherous at all. But technically the answer is, where I'm camped and where a lot of people are camped, to get to the main road you have to cross a wash. There are washes that just run through the desert like veins. Quartzsite Comments from Angel Ann. Hey, good afternoon, handsome and fur babies. I really like how you have your beard. This is what I was trying to say on the face line look, whatever that had meant. Sure looks awesome. I think a lot like this besides me, and I'm happy because maybe you keep it. I love the look on you, but you may not be happy. Give the babies lots of hugs. Angel and Angela, North Carolina, we love you and the babies. Thank you, and Angel Ann. So the beard. This is really funny. I can't remember why I decided to grow the beard. I have no idea. I can't remember. But I grew this beard, and it's like, you know, the last time I grew a beard, it wasn't white, and I can tell this thing's going to be white, and I don't think I'm going to like it, you know. And so I grew the beard, and the first reaction I got was from my campmates, and they're like, Rob, that looks really good. And I'm like, oh, that's a nice compliment. Thank you. Move on, you know, not a big deal. And I started getting compliments on the channel. And then everyone I ran into that I know, friends and even real casual friends, were just enthusiastically talking about my beard and how great that they think it looks. And I'm like, really? And it really hit me when I went into a business that I've gone into for a couple of years, and I have the most casual of relationship with the owner. Extremely casual, doesn't know me well. It is not like us to exchange much personal information at all. And I was shocked when she said, I have to tell you about your beard, and she just gushed about it. And I'm like, okay. And I came back to camp, and this is last night, and I'm sitting around everybody in camp, and I said, is it really that, you know, big a difference? And they all immediately go, oh, yes, it is. And keep it trimmed. And I was like, okay. Wow, that was kind of a shock. How did I get on that? Oh, yeah, her talking about the beard. Hiker97 says, Robin, one of your recent videos, maybe this one, you said not to use 17. I'm wrong, but I think another YouTuber said not to take 19. Is it coming to quarter? Is it coming into Quartzsite or leaving town? Either way, what? All right, I didn't want to mess this up, so I wanted to go into the reply. Exit 19 is less busy than 17. 17 is where the Love's truck stop is. So what makes that, and it's sort of in the center of town. And the combination of those two things during like December and January, especially January, there can be a massive pile up of traffic there, and it can get really jammed. Down the road, towards Phoenix is exit 17. It's more on the outskirts coming into Quartzsite, and there's like a gas station there. It's not really a big truck stop. It's a lot less busy. And I'm not saying I didn't talk about this. I don't remember talking about it. I do remember RV or TV, Russ, talks about it constantly. I mean, I've heard him mention it multiple times, advising people to not use 19 and to use 17. I mean, to use not. Excuse me. 19. Use 19 instead of 17. So in that, because it's 19 and 17, it's also, those are the close. The exits are named for the closest mile marker, so it's 2 miles. So if it's busy and you're coming from the California side, you would pass 17, go 2 miles, get off on 19, and sort of double back to come into town, about 2 miles into town. And if you're coming from Phoenix, then you would get off at that first exit that says Quartzsite, which is going to be 19. Got it? Okay. On comments, Michael Mueller says snowstorm in eastern Washington. Glad I'm not there. I was born in Rochester, New York. I went to school in New Hampshire and Boston. I have had my share of snow. I'm done. Going to breakfast with friends. Naj says, great conversation. And I didn't get any complaints because I have acquiesced to the people that feel strongly about this. When I'm going to do one, I'm filming one today because I'm going to Mexico with Barb and Cheryl. And so I'm going to have the shot inside of the car, really small in the lower right-hand corner, and the vista of the drive in 95%. When I do that, I get no complaints. So that's what we're going to do. I like having the people bigger because it's more important to me, but it's my channel. But guess what? I'm not the one viewing it. I lived it. I view it to make sure it's okay for you to see. So I'm glad I acquiesced to that. Someone said, do what you want. It's an artistic choice. And it's like, well, it can also be a bad artistic choice for my audience, which I can't remember which video it was, but I did put it like it was 1/3 of the screen. Oh my gosh. I got some negative feedback. Adventure. Oh, wait, I missed one. Wind Gypsy. I get it. I'll be there in the fall and I can't wait. All right. Well, next fall, huh? Oh, okay. Well, I'll be here. Adventure with Merit. Hey, just out of interest, and I might have missed it on your water test video. Have you ever run this water from the water station through your testing strips? Yeah. I did that as a control. I put reverse osmosis water that I buy in town into my tank. I've tested it through the tank, and like no sodium, and all the elements are well within the normal range. It's good water, as you would suspect. All right. Wild Wolf says, I'm coming in January. What road will I park on if I need to be 500 feet from the bathrooms? And I said, well, roads aren't really relevant. And I'm hoping Wild Wolf watches this so he or she can hear a more detailed explanation. There's only one official road coming into the La Posa South is where I am. I'm going to talk about this one LTVA. There's a paved road, and that's the only official road that there is. All these other roads that you see me driving on aren't really roads. They're not named, marked, part of GPS, nothing. And they're sort of irrelevant to there being like, if there's a vault toilet off one of those roads, it's a coincidence. So the way it works is there are no designated camping sites, and a lot of people, and I forget to say this to people that haven't been here, you don't go onto the land and look for, designated sites. It doesn't exist. It's Wild West camping anywhere in the desert. It just don't camp in a wash. It's a bad idea. Rain could come and wash you away, and it would be a bad day. So no one camps. And a lot of people say don't camp near the wash because that's where all the little critters are, and you get mice and stuff into your rig. So park, at least I'd say 20 feet or so away from the edge of the wash, and you can tell the washes because they have vegetation, because there's water there sometimes. Enough so there's vegetation. In the rest of the desert out here, there's like a little blade of grass occasionally. There's like hardly any vegetation. So, and you just park anywhere. And the only rule is you can't park within 15 feet of somebody else. And you don't want to do that anyway. So find a vault toilet. There's some that are more crowded because they're closer to the entrance and closer to the main road. There are others. I keep forgetting the number. There's 10 or 15 of them in just La Posa South. You can find one, be within 500 feet. No one's going to go out there with a tape measure, but you can get an idea of what 500 feet is. 300 feet is basically a football field. 500 is going to be a football field in 2/3 or something. So you can gauge that. It's a good, you can be a pretty good, it's when you stand out there and look at it, 500 feet it's a pretty good distance. I remember when I was a firefighter, the sign on the back of the truck says, keep back 500 feet. No one ever did. So Greg Half says, shh, about the water. It's my favorite too. I talk about the water kiosk, in Quartzsite that I use, and I use it because it's not only reverse osmosis, but the price is 5 gallons for 4 quarters, and it actually dispenses over 6 for 4 quarters. Unlike there's another one in town that only does the as advertised 5. And he said, don't tell it though. If you publicize it, they'll realize it and they'll change it. And that may be true. But I realized the first couple of years I'm doing videos out here, I didn't mention it because that's kind of what I thought. And I realized this is going on year after year after year, and they maybe don't care. And maybe they realize it gets them more business, and they see they have more business at this one than the other one. I don't know. But I decided, what the heck? I'll talk about it. I think it's an interesting thing. It's kind of funny. It's a quarter savings, guys. If they shut it off tomorrow and I started having to put 5 quarters in instead of 4, I wouldn't complain. It's not a big deal. I think it's just an interesting thing. But I get it, Craig. Amazing services in Quartzsite. Lisa, just a shout out to Lisa, who a good friend that camps here. What a generous lady. I won't go into details, but she recently helped me out, and it's good to have friends. It really is. It's good to have friends that'll tell you like it is. It's almost, it's almost like having a sister out here that won't pull any punches. And if you ask, what do you think? You're gonna get what they think. Not at some version, colored version, gentle around the edges version. They're gonna tell you the truth. And my real sisters, Margaret and Ann, are like that too. If I say I want advice, give it to me straight. There's not much hesitation. Going to breakfast with friends. This is Robert Baylor, says, great drive through town as always. We were there just the other day, but missed that little restaurant. That's ×3. We really enjoy a home cooked style meal at a family owned eatery. Rob, thanks for your advice on being patient. I really needed it. It loves getting fuel. Yikes, it's going to be a real zoo in January. All the best to you and George and Dottie. That's so true. If you're going to be here, especially between now and the end of January, if you don't have the attitude that I'm going to wait, I'm going to get stuck, I need to be patient, and it's all good. If you don't have that attitude, you're going to get pretty frustrated. So go in with the attitude that I'm going to get stuck in traffic. I'm going to have to wait in line. People are going to do silly things. It's just going to have a reasonable expectation. How to afford and thrive in the lifestyle is a few days ago. And Wild Wolf says, best video I have seen so far from anyone. Okay. I'm going to say that's a pretty good compliment. Holy mackerel. Going to breakfast with friends, RV life. Pretty soon they will fix that water and you won't be saving that quarter. Yeah, probably true. They'll fix that probably. I'm so glad you told us about the tips. Let's all take good care of the entertainers. Yeah, I was talking about when you go see the Cassandra Long Band at Beer Bellies, or if you see anyone playing music at Beer Bellies, pay attention that Beer Bellies doesn't pay them a dime. They allow them to use the stage, and they're paid by tips. In the case of Cassandra Long, there's a couple ways to do it. There's a bucket right in front of the stage. You can walk right up there while she's singing, and she doesn't care if you're throwing $1 in that bucket. She'll sing to you. And also they have people that support the band that go around with the bucket from table to table. So be as generous as you can afford to be. Couple science. This is my friend Kathleen. She was in that video, and she's saying that was such a fun outing. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was fun. It was great, and you're going to be seeing her again today, and I'll tell you that. Well, why don't I tell you right now? So, myself and Cheryl and Barb are going to Mexico today, and I'm making a video about it. Why are we going to Mexico? Well, it's a thing when you're in Quartzsite that there is a tourist destination. I'd say door to door, an hour and a half from where I am. From opening my door, getting in the truck, driving down there, and going into my dentist's door in Algodones, Mexico, is 90 minutes. Yeah, because you got to drive south, go through Yuma, go west of Yuma on Interstate 8, and get off and go and park in a parking lot you pay like $4 or $5 for. Then you walk across the border into this town that has the highest concentration of dentists per capita of anywhere on the planet. That's not exaggeration. Followed by a close second of optometry places to get glasses like these glasses, and pharmacies. So I would say my best guess would be the cost of dental work is probably about 20% of what it is in the U.S. on average, 20 to 30%. That's how much money you save. In my experience is even if you have dental insurance, it's very limited. You still pay a lot out of pocket unless you have really great dental insurance, which some of you might have. I've never had really great dental insurance. So I do all my dentistry is done down there. Do you take risk? I mean, of course, if you're going to go someplace with a couple of hundred dentists, you could choose poorly. So I would try to go by recommendations from people that you know or people that you talk to, read reviews, do research, do your best. Has mine been 100% good? No. The place that I go, Borderline Dental, they did a substantial amount of work and something went wrong with it. And they guarantee their work for a year, and they were to their word. Like almost a year later, I went back and I said, I think something's wrong here. And they agreed, and they redid the work for free. So that's the worst thing that's happened. All the other work that they've done has been great. And I'm going back tomorrow because they did I did 2 root canals, and with 2 temporary crowns in the spring. I didn't want to stay to do the permanent, and I said I'm going to deal with the temporary crowns for the whole summer. When I come back in the fall, which is now almost winter, right? I'll go back down and have them check everything else and do those permanent. So tomorrow it's just going to be, they're going to look at it and just do a treatment plan for it, and I'll come back by myself next time. Instead of bringing friends with me, because I'll probably be in and out of that dentist office for probably half the day. So it's like you do like an hour and a half, 2 hours. They send stuff to the lab. You can go and wander around for a couple hours. You come back. They put everything in. So that can take all day, and that's not fair. Bringing friends down with you to wait. The glasses. I love these glasses. I'll probably buy another pair, maybe blue frames, but they're prescription glasses, and it's right next to the place I go. Is right next door to my dentist, because I've tried more than one place. And this place, I really like the optometrist. That's the real key to it. I suspect there's only 1 or 2 labs where all these places send their prescriptions, because they don't do them there in the shops. They go to a lab, and they said, well, your glasses will be ready in 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever. The key is to have a really good optometrist to do your examination, especially as you get older. You need to have an examination every year because your vision changes. And when I first went to this place, the optometrist said, the glasses you have are pretty good, but I can do better. After he did the exam, and sure enough, they did glasses for me, and it was better. And I can't remember the price, but somewhere around $100 for these. And it's I think it was less for these, because these aren't. You can do all the clear coating, transition lenses, trifocal. I don't know if you can do. I think trifocal. I don't remember that. That's like reading, computer, and regular. I just have reading and regular. So if I look in the bottom of mine, it's a little bit of a magnifier, and it's perfect the way it is. And pharmacy stuff. Now, pharmacy, you can get your some medications that you maybe have to pay for in the States. You can get very inexpensively down here without a prescription. You just keep in mind, you can't take controlled substances across the border. They won't like that. That's not okay. And the pharmacies understand, they'll sell you stuff you can't take, but generally they will say, yeah, that's not legal. They understand legal and illegal for taking stuff back. If you ask them, just make sure, hey, this stuff is okay to take across, or check yourself. If you check a drug and according to the DEA, if it's a scheduled drug you can't take it across. So I get my blood pressure medication. It's inexpensive. It's just a diuretic. It's inexpensive in the state, but it's really inexpensive. Super inexpensive here, so I always stock up a little bit on that. And here's the rule: is 90 days worth. You can't go, buy a crate of medication. What they don't want is people buying medications in Mexico and taking them into the U.S. and selling them. They want it for personal use. It's the reason they limit it to a 90-day supply. You can also get things like antibiotics, or antidepressants. People worry about, is the medication, can you trust it? Well, yes and no. I find with the medications that I get, Absolutely. They've always been effective. I've never had any kind of problem. Where I do read about problems are the like narcotic medications, like the fentanyl and stuff like that. You never know what you're going to get. You can't bring those across anyway. Stay away from that kind of stuff. And even you can't, you can buy like Ambien there, but you can't, like Ambien is a controlled, you can't take that. It's a benzodiazepine. You can't take it across the border. So don't try to buy like sleep medications like that and take it across the border. But very inexpensive. So you got inexpensive glasses, you got inexpensive pharmacy, and you have inexpensive dental, plus really great food. Obviously Mexican food everywhere down there in this little village, and very inexpensive, very plentiful. And then there are vendors that sell every imaginable thing. You can negotiate with them. The people are all friendly. The town, 99% of their income are those of us that walk across the border and walk around the town. So the last question I'll answer is it safe? It is safer there than anywhere you're going to be in the U.S. because they have such a vested interest in not one thing happening to one tourist in that town. You see police everywhere. I've seen National Guard there, and the people that work and live there are super alert to anything that may be happening to anyone. You don't see anyone begging for stuff in the streets or making people feel uncomfortable. If you say to anyone that lives there, hey, this weird thing happened, they will get really, really concerned and they will do something about it, because it's the last thing they want is anything to a visitor to get hurt or a visitor to be the victim of any kind of crime. They don't want it. So it's absolutely safe. It's only a few square blocks that you walk around, and the last thing I'll tell you is a lot of people don't understand this. It's so quick and easy to walk in. No one stops you. They sort of wave to you when you go through Mexican customs to go into their country. When it's time to leave, you're kind of waiting in line. The longest I've waited in line is 1 hour and 15 minutes. The average wait in line, I'm going to guess, is about 40 minutes. And it depends on how busy it is and the time that you leave. But it can be hot. Have a hat. Take your patience. Take a bottle of water. You're going to be standing on a sidewalk for a long time to go through. And yes, you should have a passport or a passport card. People do get through, I know, with driver's licenses and other forms of government ID. I know people get through, but according to the website, when they let you through with those kinds of IDs, they're making exceptions for you. So just understand that. I even had a friend of mine that had like a military ID. And they admonished him, said, you need to, next time you come, you need to have a passport and not this ID. So just be forewarned. Let's see. So that's going to be the video today. The other thing I'm doing is I'm stopping at Best Buy and I'm picking up my Apple EarPod things, and we'll see if that helps with, I'll do a video on that because I bought them, well, because they're amazing earpieces that were higher quality and certainly more comfortable than the cheap ones that I have, but are also is they've been designated and okayed by the, I think it's the FDA as a over-the-counter hearing aid. And I hear it's really good, lots of good reviews. And I need help when I'm like in a restaurant or in a crowded environment, talking to people and hearing what they're saying. It said they're really good at that kind of minor. We'll see. And I'll let you know. The big one is when I go to Beer Bellies to listen to the Cassandra Long Band, I sit with my friends and I can't hear what they're saying. See if this helps. Robin Goff says, "Hey Rob, really enjoyed watching this video. Your friends are nice. Breakfast sure looked yummy. Thanks for bringing us along." And my today's long form video is called "My Typical Drive to Town." And Captain Zuzu says, "I'm first." And then my positive news video was funny nature photography contest, and this just one had me laughing the whole way through the article. And Ken Gray says, "A smile to start the day." And Virginia Hankey says, "Love it." And that is going to bring us to the end today. And thank you. You'll see the 4 of my most popular quartzite videos. If you're interested in quartzite, check out one or all of those. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here and listening to me. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.